Yeah, I know. This is what it looks like today, spring of 2025, down in my basement in the workshop. This is what it looks like after the second crash, and you're going to see both crashes here in just a few minutes. It's all fixable. It just needs a new fuselage. Anyway, here's my insurance policy. It's a brand new one in a box. I've had this a couple of years, since before I even crashed that first one. It was my backup plane. I just have to decide whether or not I want to build this one and do all the mods to it and fly it while repairing the old one, or keep it in a box and just fix the old one. I don't know. I've been procrastinating on that while focusing on other things that I really like to do, like flying my other airplanes, learning and playing music, mountain biking, and of course, there's spending time with the girlfriend.
Timer stop.
90mm F-18 Blue Angel.
Cruise mode. Landing mode. Cruise mode. Takeoff flaps. Timer start. Gear up. Flaps up.
Got good lights. Throttling back to about half. Still got to pitch up a little bit. We'll do a pass and see if it still does it. Went a little bit too far out there for what I wanted, but I was trimming. I got a little bit of a climb. One more pass.
Altitude 332 feet.
How does this look? Much better. A little bit the opposite direction now. Pitching up. Split S.
Altitude 330.
Throttle back. Slowly bringing it in.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Kind of a lazy horizontal 360.
Timer stop.
Into a
seconds. Gear down.
gear pass. This is where I screw up and things go wrong. So all I had to do here was a gear pass and go around and land. But no, I never stick to a plan. I decided at the last minute here to bump it up a little bit and try a Blue Angel dirty roll. Now I'm still in cruise mode, so I have a considerable amount of aileron expo dialed in still. Now I do have a separate switch set up to allow a little bit of tailerons in case I need it, but I never do think to throw it here. But I felt like I had enough speed to do this. Anyway, you be the judge.
Timer stop.
Well, it did not like rolling with the gear at all. That's a sad thing because she hit pretty hard. Hit level, but hit hard. My nose looks okay. Gear looks terrible. Nope, nose doesn't look okay. Well, that really wasn't avoidable. I mean, I could have avoided a roll with the gear down, but you got to know. All right, let's take a look at it. Nose cone, scuffed up. Looks okay. Of course, the pilot, he fared pretty well. Part of the gear definitely broke, so we're going to need gear. Yes. And a gear door. I think the wing structure looks good. Verticals look good. Definitely lost one of the oh yeah, it's separated from the actual control. That's a glue issue there. That's kind of weird how that works. We'll have to look into that a little better. Not sure how that was attached. But the nose took a little bit here. I don't think it took a terrible hit. I think we can fix it, but I'm very leery. I'm very leery of it. You can see that's the only spot here that took a hit. So, new gear, new doors. A lot of the internal foam structure in the fuselage for the landing gear compartments was totally destroyed. Some of the landing gear structure for mounting was destroyed. So I ended up getting a whole new fuselage along with new gear in order to fix this. All right, redemption flight. After replacing the fuselage and some gear, all the gear, and some door mechanisms. And we'll see how it goes.
Throttle cut off.
Good, yeah. Now, after all that hard work, could I possibly manage to screw up a redemption flight? Yes, I could, and I did, and it was really stupid. The first red flag was I only had one of two batteries charged and I was pressed for time. So to save as much power as I could on a fully charged battery, I decided to use the uncharged battery to do the setup at the airfield and test everything before flight, and then change it to the fully charged battery. Sounds like a great plan, right? I thought so. So I took some green frog tape and taped over the top of the uncharged battery and wrote on it with a pen, "Not charged." So I strapped that battery in as ballast for transport, pretty close to where it would normally sit in the airplane, but not exact. And as planned, I used that battery at the airfield to power it up, check all the systems, all the flight controls, the landing gear, make sure everything was working properly before switching it out. But I got hurried, being pressed for time, watching the clock, and I forgot to swap them out.
Timer stop. Timer stop. Timer stop. Throttle cut off.
Well, that was all kinds of out of trim. Well, let's go see what we did. Well, it actually landed on its back. So the gear never touched the ground. That's good, so I don't have to worry about replacing gear. Back of the airplane, a little bit of damage to the wing. A little bit of activity on the flap. I'm tired of fixing this thing, I'll tell you that now. Nose is good. I did always damage the fuselage right here. This is where it always happens. And maybe we can fix it, maybe we can't. That's the landing gear steering servo is out of whack. But for a lot of this stuff, it doesn't seem that bad, but we'll see what we can do. You know what it is these things are so big, so complicated, so many dang settings in them to check. It's just I'm always forgetting something. In this case here, I got it all fixed and ready to go. Well, there it is. I didn't have the new battery in there. I had the ballast battery in there. See, my brain was not even set up right. I mean, it still should have gone around. It had 3.8 volts on the thing, but still. I didn't even have the full power battery. And I think when it took off, as you saw, I think it was really tail heavy. It just nose popped up and there it went. Didn't want to fly. So there you have it. That's how we got to where we are today with this thing here down in my basement, sitting as it is.